Hi, you are watching this video because one, you're interested in the Peugeot 308 or 308 GT 2023 model, as you see there. Or two, you're like me, wondering why can't we have cool hatchback cars like this in the United States? So welcome, and I'm going to walk you through this car as we take a look at its really remarkable, clever little features. Thanks for watching. So I was using this car throughout my time. I had 2 weeks in Brittany, France, in the western area near Rennes, and I drove this little baby all over the country, across France, into the Alps, up through La Plagne, and then over to Switzerland as well. And one thing I've noticed that Peugeot is doing is they're keeping their styling rather understated. You can see that it has nothing over the top, unlike its sister company, who I shall not name. Good looking wheels, just a really nice clean overall design, clean front end, just in general a very good looking car. So that's what I liked most about it, and even had these nice high-tech LED lights. Being the GT, it has a bit of a body kit and a sportier front end and that really awesome Peugeot badge. And at night it has a nice profile, very bright LED lights and fog lights, my favorite. Okay, so I'm a tall fella, 1.92 m or 6'4", and as you can see, it fits me very well. I could extend my front leg. This isn't automatic, so there's no third pedal to impede my leg. This is my leg on the dead pedal, and the steering wheel is telescoping as well as adjustable. And the only problem is the screen and the steering wheel. The steering wheel, depending on your position, will block some of the screen. So I have to move the seat all the way up to be able to see over the steering wheel, and I still can't see all of it. To me, it's kind of a design flaw. But I think that's probably a tall driver thing, if I'm not mistaken. But otherwise, we've driven this thing to both sides of France, and it's been just fine. Okay, so moving into the inside, I do enjoy this screen. I think it's really quite nifty, but again, half the time I couldn't see most of it because of the steering wheel being in the way. No matter what I did to adjust. Most cars have us looking this way through the wheel. But at least the wheel itself was nice and sporty with the GT logo on the flat bottom. Quite a small little wheel. Now moving to the infotainment and climate control, yes, it is embedded in the touchscreen. And the only thing I did notice is, look at the lag on this thing. I just pressed the button. Now watch the lag. It just then pulled up the next screen, the navigation. So they could definitely improve on that. But, you know, it did the job. Now, the gear lever was an area I wasn't that fond of. It seems way over-engineered. And you have to always press a button to pull back, press a button to pull forward, once forward to reverse, backward to drive. Come on, it's a little overcomplicated. At least it did come with some nice sporty looking pedals there. Back seat room is awesome in this hatchback. The 308 is great. I had 2 passengers back there most of the time, and they were very comfortable. All right, well, I'm now behind the wheel of the Peugeot 308 GT, by the way. And if you notice outside, this is typical Brittany weather. It's raining, and it's probably going to rain on and off the entire day. So all the better to explore the grip. And I have to say, front wheel drive, even the GT version, low profile tires, 17-inch, and they're fine. They're absolutely fine in the rain with the all-season tires. I have good confidence, and I'm able to usually to go right at the speed limit, which right now is 110. So, what about the horsepower? Okay, it's not a lot. It's 130 horsepower, brake horsepower, but they've tuned it with the GT to be zippy. So it goes, and it's very adequate for most European roads and cities. You're not going to set any records, but it's completely adequate. Stop it there. All right, so let's talk gas mileage or petrol mileage, depending on where you're watching. So this is a 45-liter tank, and I can go almost 800 kilometers on a tank. That's about 17 to 19 kilometers per liter, which is extremely good. So what you lack in horsepower, you gain in economy, and I've been very impressed. I went from West France all the way to the Alps on one tank last week. So I can attest that you do indeed get the majority of that range, so long as you stay on the highway. Of course, once you go in the city, it drops. And even may notice that Peugeot is lately famous for these small steering wheels. I do like it, it's sporty, but again I do have to complain that it does block my view because you have to look over the wheel, unlike most cars where you look through the wheel. I do prefer looking through. It's kind of quirky to Peugeot, so I wouldn't say I'm a huge fan of it, but it's, you know, that's what Peugeot does. The only complaints I have is that when you start the car, you have to press and hold for it to start, which is weird. Usually in most start-stop, you just press it and it goes. And then the start-stop feature on this car is very aggressive. Even when you're coasting to a stoplight, it'll cut out. So you'll be at times at a roundabout and you're coasting in and the car will cut and it restarts and it kind of lurches. I wish Peugeot wouldn't do that, but you can disable it, of course. And then I'm not a huge fan of the gear lever. It's quirky. You always have to press a button to advance it. In addition to pulling forward, it's not intuitive. And I understand the new Peugeots have done away with this. So good riddance to this rather annoying knob. But most of you will be driving a manual 308, so you probably don't have to worry about it.